All Hail Biafra! This is Biafra Liberation Army Network coming to you again. Please like, share, and comment.
I want to use this opportunity to remember our Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu. We are with him in spirit. Whatever he is going through, he doesn't deserve that. But the colonial masters, Britain, and their cohorts that believe they bought the state of Nigeria as a trade, as a business, as a means of exchange, they continue to wield their influence directly or indirectly into the Nigerian system. The colonial queen and her people continue to exert their control in one way or the other. But I'm very, very happy Nigerians have realized and have started to break that colonization, starting with the job that the United States of Biafra people has championed. The Biafra people has championed the decolonization of every element of Biafra and every element of Nigeria. That is ongoing. No one born of a woman can save Nigeria. It's gone. So while they hold Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu, we want to assure him that that which is sick we already got. Be strong. Very soon, that shackle will be destroyed. It's our promise. We want to use this opportunity to also remember our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa, who is going through a similar issue in Finland. Again, Britain continues to exert their colonization of Nigeria by trying to attack anything, anyone, anybody that tried to stop that colonization. They extend that tentacle to Finland. And what did Finland do? They submitted to that manipulation. They submitted to that manipulation, thinking that with that, they can continue to exert their colonization process, not only in Nigeria, but also in Biafra, where the rich mineral resources which Britain longs for, they are hungry for every second to continue to milk. That is the only reason they do what they do. We will stop them. It's a promise. We've already stopped them. The colonization of Biafra land has been stopped with the declaration of the independence of the United States of Biafra on November 29th, 2024 in Lahti, Finland. We've broken that shackle. No one can put that shackle back on any Biafran. And I strongly believe that all indigenous Nigerians are removing that shackle by the second, by the minute, is a promise. They are doing that. We are doing that not just in Biafra land. All indigenous Nigerians that have been in this shackle, they are also removing that shackle of colonization by Britain by the minute. So we all here should be very, very happy that that colonial mentality, that colonization is being destroyed, not just by Biafrans, by all indigenous Nigerians. And I believe those colonizers that are testifying, they are seeing the result. They are restless. The center cannot hold anymore. They think if they take away our Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu, they think if they take away our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, that the restoration and the freedom of Biafra will not happen. How myopic they are. Their little mindset. So everyone here should be very, very happy that that colonial mentality, which Britain has used to suppress indigenous Nigerians, has been broken. And that can never be put back again. So we want to tell our Prime Minister, His Excellency, the shambolic trial that was carried out by Finland against an innocent man whom all he was doing is to fight for the freedom of his people, to decolonize his people from the shackles of the Nigerian state engineered by Britain. That was all he was doing. And the terrorist state of Nigeria could not. They could not survive that. What did they do? They have to collude with Finland to carry out a shambolic trial to label our Prime Minister partnering with terrorist financiers, something that engaging in terrorist act. Who is the real terrorist? It is the Nigerian state. A trial that was one-sided, where the secret war that is going on between Nigeria and Biafra was never presented. It was never presented. So when a people is at war with the Nigerian state, how do you describe that? Finland said terrorism. Finland, but you refuse in your report to say what is the real terrorism? What body is the terrorism? You didn't mention that because you're scared to mention the United States of Biafra people. You couldn't mention that. You know, there's the only terrorism you have in the southeastern and south-southern part of Nigeria was the one engineered and instituted by the Nigerian government, led by Tinubu and Christopher Musa. They are the real terrorists. All the insecurity in southeast, south part of Nigeria is engineered by the Nigerian state because they are interested in the crude oil that comes from that part of the world. Nothing more. Southeastern part of Biafra land, south-southern part of Biafra are quiet communities. People very loyal, people very peaceful, law-abiding citizens. But the Nigerian state brought in the terrorism, brought in the insecurity, brought in the killings. Because they want to continue to milk that oil and ship it to Europe. Not anymore. We make sure we stop that. That oil belongs to Biafra people. We will use it to develop our people. We use it to better the lives of our people. We will use it to build those things that our people have been denied of over the past 100 years. We will, and we have started building that already. Those of you that are not comfortable with that in the southeastern part of Nigeria and south-southern part of Nigeria, now called Biafra land, you will be able to pack your bag and leave Biafra land. Because we conducted a self-referendum where over 50 million Biafrans voted. I was talking with one of the Nigerians who told me, oh, he is from Enugu State. When was this election carried out? He and his friend, they did not participate. They were not aware of that. How can you just conduct self-referendum and then Nigeria was not aware? Are you not exposing Biafrans? These are the mindset of some gullible fools you see that call themselves one Nigerianists. What do they know? Illiterates. Does he know? Because he did not participate, because he was more focused on saving the one Nigeria, he never knew when we conducted our self-referendum, which was all over the social media, which was documented, which has been researched, both at home and abroad. Physically, we did the self-referendum. Electronically, Biafrans all over the world voted. But this individual and his likes like the one Nigeria, they never knew when it happened. They pretended as if it didn't happen. And that's how they deceive themselves. Oh, I know I'm an Igbo man. I didn't participate. When did it happen? That's the typical Ngozi, the typical Igbo man or Biafran man that believes that because he did not participate in something, it did not happen. That is their mindset, their mentality. That childish slavery mentality that has been built into them and their generation for years. They cannot remove the shackles from their body. And that is the mindset of some of them. But I pity them because it's not about them. These are individuals that do not matter. They don't know what the freedom of their people is. They don't care. They do not understand. But some of them, they travel all over the world. They go to America, they go to Canada, they go to Finland, they go to Russia, they go to Germany. They enjoy all the services provided by these beautiful countries. And they think that those countries, that they did not go through what Biafra went through. They think that the beauty, the independence, the freedom that people enjoy in these countries, that it came on a platter of gold. They think you just sit down in your house in Enugu with your friend and somebody will bring that freedom to you. Somebody will build international airport for your people. Somebody will build the train stations for your people. Somebody will build the shipping lines for your people. Somebody will build cutting-edge hospitals in your locality. Somebody will bring sound, beautiful schools that made the quality, school buses that pick kids from their homes, drop them in the school and pick them and go back. They think somebody is going to fall from the air and build that for them. That is how ignorant some Biafrans are. Very, very ignorant people. But majority, over 90% of Biafrans has been asking for referendum from Nigeria state for the past 10, 15, 20 years. And Nigeria refused. We've been asking, conduct a referendum in Biafra territory. Since you think that some of you think you didn't participate, or your friend didn't participate, you didn't know when it happened. We've called for the conduct of referendum for Biafra people for years. The Nigerian state refused because they know what the result is going to look like. They refused. They were playing their games, their little games, using the bullets to silence everyone, anyone that dare talk about freedom, anyone that talk about self-determination. Is all about using the bullets, using the guns. But some of you travel outside Nigeria. You travel outside Biafra land. You see how peace is maintained. You see how people can march without being killed. You see how civilians, unarmed civilians, have the power, the right to march against policies of the government that does not go well with them. And none of them are confronted with live bullets. None of them are killed with live bullets like the Nigerian state does. You don't say nothing. You see that happen on several occasions. Innocent Biafrans that have risen up to march unarmed. We are confronted with live bullets by the Nigerian state. The one-sided shambolic trial that happened in Finland, they never presented this. They colluded with the Nigerian state throughout the process. They colluded.